Okay, Chumash and Rashi continue in Parshas Terumah, fifth reading. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Le'olam Shach. Baruch.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. So, chapter 26, verse 31. Vasisa, and you shall make pareches, a curtain. Techelis, it's made from turquoise, bargamon, and purple. Beseilas, and scarlet, shani, telas shani, a scarlet wool. B'sheish majzar, and it's twisted. Majzar twisted. Sheish is linen. Ma'aseh chayshiv, this is a work of a chayshiv, a woven design. Yasa oisa kruvim, design the kruvim. Okay, let's see Rashi. Pareches. Lashon mechitza. Pareches is a term of a partition. B'lashon chachamim, the language of the sages of the Talmud, pargod. Davar mavdil bein hamelech ubein am. It's an object that separates between the king and the people. Because the pareches is going between the holy of holies and the holies. Rashi continues. Is it tchelis v'argaman, turquoise wool and purple wool. Kol min v'min hayakofel v'chol chut v'chut shisha chutim. So each of these were 6 strands of each type folded into each thread. So the purple wool were 6 strands. Each one. Ma'aseh chayshiv, it's a work of an artist. Kvar parashti, I've already explained in verse 1 in this chapter. Shezu arigas shel shnei kirais. This is a weaving of 2 surfaces. V'tziyuran mishnei avareha enam de. And the artisan's work, the pictures on the 2 sides of the fabric are not one like the other. Kruvim, tzirim shel briyos yaseba, should make pictures of creatures. In other words, the artisan work that you're doing is pictures of creatures that will be on 2 sides, it will not be the same. Interesting, doesn't it? It's interesting that doesn't say what exactly it should be, right? Okay, 32. Huh?
Do you recall where Russia previously explained?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I think maybe. I think it was yesterday. There it says Ma'aseh chayshiv also. In verse 1 of this chapter, it says Ma'aseh chayshiv. Rashi said over there that the keruvim that were depicted on the panels that were woven doesn't mean embroidery, but which is needlework, but it is weaving. And he explained over there that on 2 surfaces there were different pictures. Oh, here he says a lion was on one side and an eagle on the other. But that's not necessary. That's what it said before when it was speaking about. There it was speaking about the yirais, the ceiling that was on top of the crushing, right? And that's not what it's saying. Not over here is it in such a manner. Okay. Kruvim. Okay, we said that. Yeah. 32. Nesata oisa, and you should place it. Meaning, this parechas is curtain al arba amudi shitim on 4 pillars of shitim, which is acacia wood, right? Mitzupim zahav that are covered, overlaid with gold. Vavehem, and their hooks, zahav, are made out of gold. Al arba agnei kesef, and that are in the base, the sockets are 4 silver sockets. Let's see Rashi. Rashi's picking up on the arba amude, on the 4 pillars that are made of acacia wood, right? Arba amudim mitigudim b'seich arba adanim. So the 4 pillars are put into the 4 sockets. By him, and there were hooks set into them. Akumiyam lamaila, that were bent upwards. Lahaishiv aleim kilainis shereish haparechas karuchba, to set up on the pillars around which the end of the parechas was wrapped. Is heim vavim, and the hooks are the vavim that are says in the verse. Look at the word vav, right? What do you do when you put a vav in front of a word? What does it do? Right. Right, to conjunction. And the word vav means a hook. Conjunction means a hook, right? It's hooking this word with the previous word, right? So the word vav means a hook. Right? The vav, and so they're hooks, shaharei kimin vavim hein asuyim, they're made like the shape of letter vav, lying on its side. Right? So you're taking now the parechas, and it is being hooked to the poles. The parechas arka eser amos, and the parechas, they were 10 amos long, rachman shel mishkan, which is the width of the inside of the mishkan. Berachba eser amos, which the mishkan is, its width is 10 amos. The gaven shel krashim, like the height of the beams, kruse b'shlimai shel mishkan, so it was spread out to the point of a b'shlishai, a third of the Mishkan. Sheyemena lifnim eser amos. So that would be 10 amos from it and inwards towards the western wall of the Mishkan. Beimenu chutz esrim amma. Remember, the Mishkan is 30 amos, right? So now where is it being placed on the 30 amos? Right? Where is it being placed? So he's saying it's being placed at the 10 amma point. So the Holy of Holies will be 10 by 10, and then the Holies will be 20 by 10. Right? That's what he's saying over here. So be 10 ammas towards the western wall of the Mishkan, which would be the Holy of Holies, of course. And 20 ammas from it to the outside, to the entrance of the Mishkan, which is on the east side. So it comes out that the Holy of Holies is 10 ammas by 10 ammas. As it says that you should place the parechas, the curtain, tachas hakrasim, hamechabrim, eshtei chayvis sheyiris hamishkan, and should put the parechas under the hooks that join the 2 groupings of the panels of the tabernacle of the Mishkan spread. Rechav ha'chayveres, esrimama, the width of the connecting with 20 amas. Sheparsha alagag hamishkan min hapesach lamari. That when you spread over the 2 groupings of panels over the roof of the Mishkan from the entrance to the westward, Kalsa Bishnei Shlish Mishkan, it would end up 2/3 away across from the length of the Mishkan. So the second grouping covering remaining third of the Mishkan. And the remainder of the second group hung. This is speaking now about the Yirisa on top of the curtains. I mean, that was hung on top as a roof, and then that was hung over the. Okay. 33. Benasata is a pareches, and you should place the curtain tachas akrosim under the krosim, to the clasps. Is aron ha'edus, and you should bring inside of the curtain a shama, the bias from the inside. The pareches of the pareches is aron ha'edus, the aron of testimony, behivdilah, and it should separate apareches. The pareches should separate lachen bein hakodesh, between the holy, bein kodesh hakadoshim, and the holy of holies. Benesatis kaperes al aron, and you should place the cover on the aron ha'edus, the ark of testimony, the kodesh hakadoshim, and the holy of holies. Besamta es shulchan, and you should place the shulchan, the table that had the showbread, right? Michutz pareches, outside of the curtain. There's a menorah, and the menorah, the candelabra, nechach shulchan, opposite the shulchan, al tzela hamishkan, teimana, on the south side of the mishkan. Here, let's take a look at the pictures here. Here we go. This is the north side, this is the south side. So that, right. So Benair is on the south side. The right on top is the north. That's where the shulchan, the table is, right? The shulchan titan al tzelat tzofin, and the table will be on the north side. Let's see Rashi. Samta es hashulchan, and you shall place the table. Rashi, shulchan b'tzofin. The shulchan is on the north side of the Mishkan. It's drawn away from the northern wall 2.5 amas. Umenaira, and the menorah is bidarim, is on the south side. And it's drawn away from the southern wall 2.5 amas. Right, both are. And the golden altar was placed opposite the space of between the shulchan and the menorah. Moshoch kima kelapi mizrach, and it's drawn out a bit to the eastern wall. They call them mishkan b'lifnim, and all of them are in the midpoint of the mishkan, meaning from east to west, from the inside point. Okay, so what does that mean? The length of the Mishkan from the entrance to the pareches, the curtain, is 20 amas, right? That's the holies. So where did it begin? Where did the what? It's interesting. I don't get this Rashi. I'm gonna have troubles with this Rashi. It begins at 10 amas. So if you see in the picture over here, right, here's 20. So it begins 10 in, right? But what begins 10 in? The Mizbeach. Rashi says all three of them start at 10 in. They don't, because they're further in. They're closer to they're further west. Rashi doesn't say that. That's one question I have on Rashi over here. Second question I have on Rashi: where does Rashi come here to tell us about the golden altar? He didn't speak about it. Like, how does he get from our verse over here that this is the way the setup is? It's on a triangle. It's a triangle. Where did you get that from? To say that the candelabra is on the south side on the bottom, and the table is on the north side on top. Okay, that's what it says. Even where do you get 2.5 amos from the whatchamacallit, from the south and north side? How do you get that? Where's he see it over here? Okay. Here's the question. All right, let's go. Maybe we'll have some time. We'll look at see if there ever picks up on it. Asis 36. Asis, and you shall make masach a screen. Masach is a screen. The pesach ha'ohel to the entrance of the tent. Tchelis, it needs to be made from turquoise, bargamon, and purple. They say las, shani, and scarlet. All of it is wool. The sheish mashazar and twisted linen. My came. This is an embroiderer work. Before it was not an embroiderer's work, right? It was a I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, weaving. My is weaving. Not that I know the difference between weaving and embroidering. Gotta go back to the farm. All right, 36. Asisa masach, and you should make a screen. Viloin is a curtain. Shu mesech keneged pesach, which acts as a screen for the entrance. Kamash is on. Right, this is the I'm sorry. Kamash sachata ba'adai. Make a screen for him. Lashon Megan. It's an expression of protection. It's a work of an embroiderer. The images that are made are that of needlework. Oh, okay, needlework. The face on one side is the same as the face on the other side. Ah, that's a difference, right? Comes out. Roy came an embroiderer. Shem Uman, Veloy Shem Umanis. It's the name of a craftsman, but not the name of the craft. Right? The person who is a right? The embroiderer. Targumunu Oived Tzayer. Our uncle is translated as work of an illustrator. Veloy Oived Tzayer, but not a work of illustration. Midas Masachim Midas Pareiches. The size of the screen is equal to the size of Pareiches. Esser Amos. Esser Amos. It's 10 Amos by 10 Amos. Right. So it was right. The Mishkan here. This is the base of Migdash. So this is not the same thing, right? So it would be over here because the Mishkan was just this part, right? The 30. All this is base of Migdash. So it would be the entrance over here into the holies. That's where it screened and was a protection. Last pasuk, asisa masach, and you should make the curtain. Chamisha amudim, you should make for it 5 pillars. Shitim of acacia wood, v'tzipi some zav, and you should overlay them, cover them with gold. Bavehem zav, and their hooks are also gold. V'yitzakta lehem chamisha adnei necheshes, and she cast 5 copper bases for them. Before it was silver, now it's copper. Okay, let's see if we can find something. Okay. So on verse 35, right, about placing the shulchan, so right, that the table goes on the north side, the menorah on the south side, and the golden altar is between them to the east more. So okay. So the shulchan and the menorah are a hint to two types of divine service. So this is not so much. This is they're giving the metaphor of what's going on over here. Two types of service. The shulchan hints to serving God with through the means of materiality, eating for the sake of heaven, and so on. The menorah hints to serving God with spiritual ideas, like learning Torah, like we're doing now. Now, the altar that is used for frankincense is a hint to prayer. As it says, preparing my prayers, the verse in Tehillim is like incense before you. So now we can understand. Listen to this. The Rebbe is explaining on a not a simple meaning in Rashi, but the deeper meaning, right? The Yenish shel Torah, the wine of Torah. Pesach, you following? Okay. So then we can understand why the altar is where it is, and the menorah and the shulchan, right? And that the altar is drawn out a bit to the east, right? And that the menorah is standing opposite of the shulchan. So he explains, right? Rashi uses the word that the altar is drawn out a bit towards the east, meaning when a person enters into the heichal, into the holies, first you kind of, bump into the altar. Only afterwards you reach to the menorah and the shulchan. What does that teach you? That the order of the day is first you have to start with prayer, which is the altar. Only afterwards are you able to then engage in your daily engagement, which whether it's learning of Torah, the menorah, or in material things of the world, right? The menorah, on the other hand, is opposite to the shulchan. What does that teach you? That the behavior of an individual in matters of the world, which is the shulchan, have to be in consonance with one's spirituality, which is the menorah. As the Rambam writes, just like a chacham, a wise person is recognizable in his wisdom and his knowledge, that he is different than other people. Therefore, he also has to be recognizable in his actions, in his eating and drinking and the things that he does for himself, that they should be beautiful and fitting, very much so. Huh. So he's picking up on the words, right? He's picking up on the words of Rashi and explaining it in a mystical fashion, right? Not in the simple meaning, that the altar is drawn out more, right? To the east, meaning it's the first thing that you come to. First thing you need to come to in your day is prayer. And then he uses the term that the shulchan is juxtaposed to the menorah, right? Shulchan, again, meaning material things, because that's where the bread was, right? Right. So your material life has to be juxtaposed to the menorah, which is your spiritual life. In other words, it has to be your material life has to reflect your spiritual life. Right? That's what a chacham is, that he's recognizable not just in his wisdom, but in his material engagement of eating and drinking and so on. That's not the simple meaning, right? That's not the Rebbe. That's the Rebbe is explaining it. Pnimis in them. Still, that doesn't answer my question.
Why Rashi?
Why Rashi explains it over. Where does Rashi get 2.5 amas? First of all, doesn't explain that, right? Where does he get that from, right? He could have said that he didn't have to say 2.5 amas. We're not questioning the truth of it. That's not the point. We're questioning that Rashi is simple meaning. So where does he get 2.5 amas from? He could have just said that as the verse says, it's two, that it's on, the shulchan is on the north side, and the verse says it. So he doesn't even have to say anything because the verse clearly says it, right? So he's saying 2.5. Where's he getting 2.5 from our verse? First, and then we're the mizbeach is not at all spoken about here. That's going to be tomorrow's teachings, right? So where does Rashi get over here that the mizbeach is further drawn away from it, more to the east? You don't get that from this verse. So something is bothering Rashi with the word v'samta is shulchan. You must place the table, right? There's something in those words that you know. All right, more to look at. Tomorrow we continue. All right, folks. Hey, we'll see you in a few moments.
Thank you.